got the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as the valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark.
It is Tuesday here on the program. Is that right? Tuesday. Hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. Good morning, Stephen. How are you? Or on the Professional Door Incorporated text line 391-0788, whatever might be on your mind. We would love to hear from you. And I hope everybody's doing well. Marvin Miami going to join us coming up here at 6:45. He's trying to get apparently the ability to get quality internet in the greater city of Miami is a very difficult process. Brian Siegel from the Boundary Corner, and then Mike Burnham scheduled to join us. Last night they had the final tour for James Franklin at the Roanoke Valley Sports Club, so we'll get his update on that. Good up, Baltimore. How are you? By the way, don't forget Professional Door Incorporated. Hit them up this month, because this is the month that you get $40 off if you set up your appointment for preventative maintenance. 674-0008. Very easy. Very easy. Thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate you. Stop by anytime. You just call and say, hey, heard Rick talking about it on BDST. And we'd love to set up an appointment. It doesn't have to be made for July. It could be made in August. It could be made in September. But you have to do it in July. You have to book it in July. And time's going to get away from you quicker than you think. Tell them you heard us talking about it here. 674-0008. Doing well, Bald. Good to have you, man. Doing well. Hey, Freddie. Freddie Bear. What's up? What's going on? What's going on? So welcome, everybody, wherever you might be. What's up, Emmanuel? How are you? Good morning, everybody. Showing up in chat. Please take the time to subscribe and hang on. Like, you don't have to sub and leave. Just stay on. Big sports show. Talk about everything. Pop culture. Family Fencing is the sponsor of our studio. 540-200-8294. Thanks to them. FamilyFencingNRB.com to get your free estimate today. Talk about McClellan Chiropractic. Mark Hundley, 155 Walters Drive. Great response to the video that we took over there with Mark last week. That was awesome. And we had also great response from the video we took Friday at Pulaski County Sports Entertainment at the Sportsplex. I think what I'm going to try to do is see if I can negotiate a deal with Jonathan Sweet just to have an office there. It's the kind of place you never want to leave. I'll never have to guess where Jonathan Sweet is any longer if he's not home. He's going to be at the facility. It is unbelievable. 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 Awesome. Just awesome. What's up, Josie? How are you? Josie? Just going to go with the short first name so I don't mispronounce people's names. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Let Charles Lee and Company get your preventative maintenance on your heating and air unit. Feels pretty good out there right now. The attorney, Ryan Pry, I think Wayne had a good idea because I got a bunch of responses. The BDST fan question of the week, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. And we asked, what is your identification of a summer blockbuster? And man, oh man, it's going to take me a while to get all these tabulated at the end. We've got Jaws. We've got Raiders of the Lost Ark. We have Star Wars. We've got Back to the Future. We got a bunch of stuff that's popping in. It's a good one. It's a really good one. So that's going to be fun to go through. Good call, Wayne. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of yours truly and of this program. We just refinanced my finances very easily. Reach out to them. ReadySetFund.com. Bob Chris, BOBCRST11 at Gmail. ReadySetFund.com. It's a series of text messages to show you how you can raise money easily. It's really cool. I've read up on it, and you can get it done within 5 days. Sundown Electric, one of the most highly respected and highly rated family businesses in the area down in Elliston, thanks to the Smith brothers. Reach out to them, honest and integrity. And don't forget what we are doing coming up this Saturday at 6 o'clock. It is the BDST Bash, and we are going to be there. Coach Elmo is going to be there. 540-382-5525. Just show up, look for us. Just ask where the bash is going to be, and come hang out with us on Saturday beginning at 6. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be great to meet a bunch of wonderful human beings. Good morning, Prometheus. From New River Falls Fishing Holes to BDST Sports Talk that Elmo and Burnip controls. Let's sit back and listen for now until we meet these characters at the New River Super Bowl. Y'all don't let me forget to give Mike a formal invitation today, okay? Lawson's Mobile Home Supplies, located at 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. Parts for your plumbing, your windows, your doors, whatever might be on your mind. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel, who did our T-shirts. And let's make sure I didn't leave anyone out. Derek, the number for professional doors, 674-0008. Hit them up. Just call them up when they're not open now, but 9 o'clock. And tell them you heard us talking about it. You'll get $40 off your visit. Absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. Morris will be there. It's going to be fun. Thanks to Morris for helping really get this thing off the ground, to be honest with you. He was the man who did it. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Just keep them coming. So last night, apparently there was a home run derby. It was on Netflix. Yeah, that's right, boy. Rob Manfred getting it done. This is the guy who got up the other day at the draft last week and mispronounced the name of the first-round pick. Bumbled it twice and then tried to laugh it off. And it was kind of representative how he's bumbled the leadership for baseball. And then last night, hang on here. And then last night they had the home run derby on Netflix, because everybody who tunes into Netflix wants to watch baseball's home run derby. So it shows you, ESPN gave it up, no interest in it. I'm not a big home run derby fan. It's kind of become like the NBA All-Star game, but fans like it. Young fans like it. So it has its place just in terms of that, but yet here they are marketing it out to Netflix or farming it off to Netflix as part of that, that streaming deal. I keep being told that, streaming sports is going to end up being an awesome thing for the fans. One day that's going to hit, isn't it? One day it's going to be very convenient for fans, right? It's what we were told from the get-go. Like the NFL, where you have to have 8 streaming services or 8 services in all to watch the season. That's really convenient for fans. It's awesome, man. It's great. It's great. Has nothing to do with, corporate greed. And now baseball putting the home run derby on Netflix. Yeah. I believe Jordan Walker. People are going to go, who? Exactly. Outfielder for the St. Louis Cardinals. I believe he's the one who won it. Let me make sure. Yeah, he was. Stuns the crowd, ESPN says, with 6 straight home runs. Because, that's never happened before. Oh, what the hell do I know? Maybe it has happened. I know it hasn't happened before. I haven't watched the home run derby in many, 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 many years. But if I had a hankering to last night, my whole point is I'm not sure I would have known to find it on Netflix. I don't necessarily go to Netflix very often. Usually go to Paramount Plus or Prime. But I'm not sure I would have thought to myself, hey. How bad are umpires doing at the major league level? Let's continue on the baseball rabbit hole of ineptitude. In the first half of the season leading up to the All-Star break, umpires missed 14,441 calls. And they had 3,217 calls overturned after video. So the reason not more calls were overturned, there's a limited number of challenges. At some point, they're going to have to make the realization that, what they need to do is just go ahead and have the complete electronic strike zone to where you don't have to challenge. If you're worried about the game taking longer, whatever it might be, right? But baseball players last night interviewed, all saying we will not agree to a salary cap. We've tried to tell you that this thing's headed for a work stoppage next year. The players will never cave to a salary cap. Of course, they would agree to a salary floor, but the owners don't want one without the other. So good luck, baseball. Good luck finding your footing if you do have that work stoppage in 2027. Good luck. I hope that goes well for you. Good luck. Or hello, Asad. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. No, this is completely, you're exactly right, Brian. Brian, is this not the worst time for sports? Yes, it completely is. Unless you want to watch, Summer League, NBA, baseball, there's baseball. You got, you can always tune into the WNBA. Hey, you still got semifinals of the World Cup. Yes, it's the worst time. Especially in a football frenzied nation, this is the worst time. It is. But pretty soon, what are we today? July, what the hell's the date today? 13th? 12th? 13th? Bueller? 14th. I was close. I was in the neighborhood. Getting close to where NFL training camps will start to slowly open. Feels like they do less and less every year. But we'll have the Hall of Fame game, the Hall of Fame induction, and we'll be right into preseason pretty quickly. The Broncos play a month from today in their first preseason game. And once all that starts, and then once practice gets underway across the country in college football, then we are there, man. And it'll be interesting for me to see a couple of things as we get into the season. I want to see how I think the ratings will be extremely strong again on TV. I believe that. As college football has proven to be last year. Easily the second most watched televised sport in this country. Easily. And I want to see if there's any type of, as the season goes, any type of progression with any type of amendment to any of the rules. Now, the reason that I believe that won't happen, and I don't know why I even look for it any longer, because I was talking to Todd Grantham last night, and if you missed it, there's now a growing list of SEC schools that are sending a letter to lawmakers. There's over, a dozen schools, 15 plaintiffs now, fighting this eligibility rule that seemed like it was common sense, right? Seems like it was common sense. The 5 years, well, this is now getting tied up in court, which we told you exactly was going to happen. I think Coach Elmo said it as well. And the NCAA will likely ultimately lose. And if you can't pass something that's as commonsensical as the 5-year plan and have the ages defined, then you've got no hope. Am I right? Am I right? So we're not even going to get that rule. Mark, it is. It is. At least the people who run it have turned it into a joke. We're not even going to get the 5-year rule. We're not going to get it. It's just not going to happen. I kind of thought this might be. I thought this kind of might be the reason. Or what the result, and now here we are. So these lawsuits are going to take all the momentum heading into camp starting here in a couple of weeks. And then there's no hope. At that point, it's going to set a showdown up for the only people who's going to make any decisions are the people in sports. We try to never give up. Thanks for the very pleasant advice. Never giving up. Please subscribe. So in other words, what we're going to have is we're going to have any kind of development that's accepted by conferences is going to be done by the conferences. It's not going to be done by any dictation from the NCAA government. Nothing's going to be allowed in. These lawsuits will win. They always do against the NCAA. And I don't know what hope we have, to be honest with you. It's going to continue to be what we've seen progression-wise over the last year and a half or so. It's going to continue to be more expensive. I think the norm will eventually shoot up north of $60 million just for your football roster. Think how ridiculous that sounds just saying it. And you're going to have the begging for more and more money from every school in the country for their fan base. I talked to a college basketball coach yesterday. From the Atlantic 10, and he was telling me it's gotten much worse. Going out and talking to kids has gotten much worse. And I said, what do you mean by that? Well, it's all about what am I going to get? And for how long? And there are more people to go through now. And he goes, we try to adapt on the fly, right? We go out, we kind of have a plan, we kind of get a feel when we go out and we talk to a family. We know what's going to be a more difficult process and what's going to be a more, easy process. Things like that. Your brother went to Radford, Mark? Really? Cool. Go Highlanders. It's where I work. But he says it's just getting worse. It's getting worse. Well, very cool. Very cool. That's awesome, Mark. It's a nice place. It's a good place. So once this rule gets shot down, after it's tied up in court for a year, where do we go from here? And where do you go from here? I always propose this question right back at the folks who are so supportive of college football and your school. And if you give, if you buy season tickets, if you still kind of are able to, well, that's not good, Mark. Of course, they wouldn't kick him out of school for bouncing a rinse check. So, Spain, Pessy. So again, at what point, I wonder, is this going to saturate and affect college football fan to the point where you're just going to be like I am now toward the NBA? Like I am now toward the World Cup. Things like that. Just, how I'm getting toward baseball. Or does college football supersede that because it is football and it is college football? It's very, very interesting. And it's going to be up to every individual to make that decision. I still have no idea why anyone would save to donate, to give money to a sieve of just, we don't know what we're giving toward. Here you go. Here's my 10 grand. Thanks for my tickets and my parking pass. I mean, the one thing we know direction-wise in Blacksburg is they've made all these hires with one goal in mind, and that's more money. Money, 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 money. Remember 6 months ago, I told you I talked to someone over there and they said, hey, man, this is all just a money laundering scheme. That becomes more true every week when I think about it and I read articles about it. Prometheus says, I don't give, but I'll be watching. College football is my favorite sport. And I hope I can turn off all the other stuff, you know. Like last year, I thought the games were really good for the most part. I thought the product was good. We'll see if that continues. Does the amount of money that's going to start to be given out more and more so, is that going to start affecting the play? Are kids going to be like we worry about in the professional ranks, right? You get the contract extension, you take yourself out, you get guaranteed money coming in. At the very least, this is what I don't understand and why it hasn't happened. Schools could unite and structure these comments in the same fashion, these contracts in the same fashion. And if you want to be an employee, that, you know, we don't have that status identified in any way, shape, or form. But you could dictate to the kids a little bit, couldn't you? Instead of just letting it be the other way around. How it's gone from the kids having zero rights for anything to now they hold every card. The athletes hold every card. It has been a complete turnaround of the power structure. And it's mind-blowing. Coaches around, these are basketball coaches, but it's got to be worse with football. Yes, it is, Mark. It is semi-pro football. Always has been. You think about the NFL. I think Coach Elmo talked about this yesterday. It has utilized college football as its free-for-all, its minor league system, and contributes nothing to try to help this in any way, shape, or form. Wayne says, well, we've always said gambling is also going to destroy it. And we hear more and more about point shaving or the kid at Texas Tech. Yes. Yeah, we keep waiting for that. More money's going to be involved. Less money for certain athletes. And I don't know if this is going to break it or not. I'm not saying this is going to break college football, but how can it continue? How can college sports continue like this? How do we just we walk around at Radford? We had visits yesterday. Had a couple of Power 4 representatives at Radford yesterday. We're all just sitting around talking about how is this. They're asking the same questions. How is this going to continue? I don't know. But fans, see, what they're counting on is kind of what Prometheus said and what we saw with the ratings last year. They just say people are going to watch. People are going to come back. They're going to do what we need them to do. Prop bets surely will put a fork in it all. That's possible, Mark. That is very possible. Yep. No, I do not coach there. I'm the director of broadcasting and media. So it is my alma mater, though. How did this all start? Ed O'Bannon. Well, it all started the many decades when anytime this was kicked around and NCAA immediately put their foot down and said, we're not sharing a damn thing. And the Ed O'Bannon ruling is what opened this whole thing up. And it went quickly from being NIL, name, image, and likeness, to being absolutely nothing like that. The ideal world was, okay, athletes, you can go out and negotiate whatever you want and make all the money you can while you go here. If we have to supplement a little bit, we will. It went from that to saying, hey, we're going to pay this quarterback prospect $6 million to come be our signal caller, even if it's for 1 year. And the SEC led that charge along with the Big Ten. And everybody else has to try to play catch up because they have the most money. That's how it all started. Yeah, it is a good gig. Work with good people down there, Mark. We're just every day trying to find our place in this madness. That's all we do. Wayne says we all love sports, but college purpose is to educate. Correct. We had that discussion yesterday, and I'm very proud to say we continue to do that at Radford. Sports is supposed to develop and provide opportunities, not millionaires while in college. I do realize it started with the greed from the colleges, but it's a shell of what it was 25 years ago. Correct. The education part, you can listen to the BS that you get from schools, but it doesn't matter to them anymore. Not to the athletic programs. It doesn't matter to most of them. Tebow, what's up, brother? Good morning. It's not just sports. Kids in society today appear entitled and are just handed everything just because we've just allowed it to happen. Again, 100% correct. I see it. My youngest son, you see it in that generation especially. And that's the generation. He's 19. It's coming through now, going to these schools. And I hear from people all the time, they still have a basic problem with watching a 19 or 20-year-old making $3 million a year. You're going to go watch his games on a Saturday. You may have to save up for a week or two just to go to that game, buy tickets, family of four, buy food, parking. And yet here he is getting a check for, I don't know, $400,000 for that game in college. It's weird, isn't it? that guy's gone. He's going to Radford for free. Now he wants to go to UVA. So that's, yeah. Morris says college is about education, Wayne. What plant are you from? Academics. Novel idea in college sport, but no. Yeah, no, Wayne. I know Morris is being facetious. It is 100% business. And, universities have always been a business. Now they just don't try to hide it because they can't. That's why they're showing us their books. That's why campuses are now showing us their books. And I got to be honest, people ask all the time, wouldn't you want to be at a Power 4 school and broadcast football? Sure, there's elements of that, but I still believe in the model. And I know it's naive, or maybe it's just the way I was raised. I believe in the college model that I grew up with myself and athletics. I think you should go to school. I think you should get your degree. I think athletics is a terrific means to do that. I don't have a problem with the original NIL plan at all in any way, shape, or form. Athletes should have gotten their share beyond just room and board and books. And we incorporate the academic part in Radford. You watch, we're going to release even higher GPAs across the board for all of our athletics programs in 26-27. I'm calling it right now. Because we have great coaches that make sure that that's, if you're not doing that, if you're not getting paid, no matter what you're getting paid, you're not going to play. That's why they bring in more kids now from out of state, 100%. Double the tuition. In-state students are no longer, I'm finding that out now with my son in Charlottesville. We've got a lot of hurdles still to jump through. I wish it were about the education to protect the 98% of players that will never see the field. Yeah, but these kids don't look beyond other than their checks. And this isn't me saying this. I hear this. This is coaches. I talk to a lot of people that deal with this daily. This isn't just pulling stuff out of my ass. I mean, it's all about if they get their check for that pay period, however it's structured in their contract, and I guess it's usually like everybody else's, it's a couple of weeks, sometimes it's monthly, then they are good to go. They don't see anything down the road. They don't see anything forward. They are good to go. Mark, that's a good point. Back in the day, they gave you a bag of money at the table, but it did keep you on it. You kept quiet. You worked hard to keep quiet because you knew if you didn't keep quiet, the money would stop because you didn't have a contract. Well, that's a discussion for me that I've had with my son recently. Yeah. The degree does not mean what it used to in any way, shape, or form. I think going out and getting a trade degree at a community college or a trade school, learning how to do something tangible is far more useful. Thibaut says, how do you think an 18 or 19-year-old is going to handle money? Right. Exactly. Many adults who came into big money thought it'd be great. It was just the opposite. Yep, they blow right through it completely. It's gone. Irresponsible. They don't plan ahead. Nobody's planning ahead. You think these kids are planning ahead? And do you think their handlers? This is what I hear a lot from coaches. You think their handlers care about investing? No. Okay, I got you this deal at this school. Here you go. Give me my 20%. Give me my 15%. Whatever. You're now at that school. I got to move on to somebody else. But again, let's preface all this by saying something that I still maintain. This is not on the young people. This is not on the athletes. You and I would have done the same thing if we were a 5-star strong arm quarterback coming out of Midland, Texas, and had 30 schools salivating to see who can get my services. Right? How would we have responded? I don't think you did, Wayne. Maybe you did. The clip from the Ohio State kid. Thunder says depends on the degree, medical or engineering and a few others means something, but many degrees don't mean. Yeah, exactly. But those kids are not, well, I won't say all, but most who are playing sports getting that cash grab aren't getting that degree. And I've tried to navigate my son through it. I'm like, he's now changed what he wants to do like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, well, you kind of need to, at this point, figure it out. There you go. Tebow, I got my degree in the U.S. Navy, learned to trade, and doing just fine. Absolutely. Mark says, my dad was a varsity basketball coach here in the suburbs in Chicago back in the 80s. He started to question all this many moons ago. Yeah, your dad was wise, saw it coming. Many did. Many did. And you know what I'm about to reference. I guess the first time that your eyes are wide open to it's when you see something like Blue Chips. A movie that people might think is exaggerated, but it's not in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, it's probably understated even for its time. Yeah, that piece of paper, yeah, absolutely. Morris, thanks, Tebow, my sailor buddy. Appreciate your service. We got a lot of servicemen here. It's great. Chris Lester, salute to you all, indeed. No greater group of Americans that I believe deserve more of our respect or that I hold in higher regard than our servicemen and women. All right, Barbara. So Barbara's trying to get on with her horrible internet. Apparently Miami doesn't have internet. I sent you another link, Marva, if you're watching. Yeah. Nick Nolte was good. Yeah. See? Blue Chips is every time. Okay, I'll check that out, Wayne. Thanks, man. I'll check that out. So Marva's moved, and apparently the connection still hasn't worked. She's having to use a hotspot. I got to ask her what's going on with the what in the world's going on with the internet connection down in Florida. Penny Hardaway, didn't Dad get a brand new job? Yeah, it wasn't his dad, Mark, but the other kid. Yeah, it was the farm kid. He got a brand new tractor. He did. He did. I think Penny Hardaway's mom got a job. Yeah. I think that's what it was. Yeah, the white kid got the tractor for his dad. And I think Penny Hardaway got money, but his mom got a job. Because remember, he asked the question, if I go away, does the job go away? And he goes, yep. Yeah. So if we play in the Navy, you guys will love it, right? Navy rules down the Tidewater area. You know what? We should. If all the service people show up, on the bash on Saturday, we need to do in the Navy and let people boogie. Well, you know how Jerry Seinfeld has the show Comedians in Cars? We now have Marva in cars this morning. What's up?
Good morning. I hope this works, Rick. This is showing you how much I care about the show because I still don't have internet at my new place. So and my cell service is very not good. So I went to a shopping center and I was trying to use my hotspot on my phone with computer. Yeah. That did not work. So then I drove a little bit further to a McDonald's. So I'm using their free Wi-Fi. Thank you, McDonald's.
Hey, Mickey D's never misses.
Yes.
Mickey D's never misses, Marva. You know that.
No. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm glad it's working next week. If everything goes well with AT&T, I will have real Wi-Fi at home and I can be back at my place. But this is again showing you how much I care about the show.
Well, I appreciate that. We missed you last week already.
I know.
How was internet this hard? How is it this hard?
I don't know. It's been hard to schedule an appointment and they've been backed up and then they're blaming holiday. And I was just like, I haven't been able to watch TV normally. My cell service is very spotty. So sometimes you can pull up something on your phone, but it's not very good. So we've been doing, family time. Yesterday we played Uno in the evening for several hours. So yeah. I mean, we don't have to have the TV. The kids really miss though. The kids miss it a lot.
You're not watching your Miami Marlins. Your Miami Marlins are going to be a playoff team. It looks like. How about that?
I know. I told you several weeks ago. I read a column that said that they could make it to the World Series. Now this person may be delusional, but yeah, they were saying it's possible.
You've been saying that since day one. To your credit,
I've been saying it. Yes, but now others are jumping on the bandwagon.
Big Al says Mickey D's ice cream machines won't work, but the internet does. There you go.
Yes, I appreciate the free Wi-Fi. And when we get off, I'm going to get a sausage biscuit because I think I deserve it.
Oh, you do? Yeah, with the work you've gone.
Well, no, maybe I should get bacon. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Everybody's saying you should go to Starlink. Everybody's bragging about Starlink. I've thought about that actually.
I don't know. I'm really frustrated because AT&T almost seems to be the only game in town here where I am. And so I called to see if I could even do something like Xfinity. I don't know if they have that where you live. And Xfinity says,
I don't know.
We don't serve, it's funny. You have to give me your address. They say, we actually do serve part of that street, but not down where you are on that end. We don't serve that. And it's like, we might be doing it in the future, but that didn't help. And then afterwards I get several follow-up calls. How did you like our service? And I'm like, well, I can't really answer that. I would love to have your service, but you don't serve my area. So I think after the second call with that, they realized we could stop calling her now.
Are you in a Rolls Royce, by the way? They're saying, do you drive a Rolls Royce? I'm guessing you probably do.
I should. But no, I don't. I should. I will mention that to the husband when I get home. Hey, why am I not in a Rolls Royce?
Why are you not in a Rolls at this point? Come on. What are we doing?
I really feel like I should have a driver. Why am I driving myself around? Doesn't seem right.
Well, how's the new place overall, despite the fact you have no way to communicate to the outside world right now?
Other than that, it's great. I've met so many nice neighbors. I was heading out yesterday and a very nice woman approached me and she came and talked to me about the neighborhood. We had a package delivered to the wrong place and it was heavy. It was heavy because we were getting our daughter a new bed and it's heavy. They sent it to the wrong place and it was just down the street. So my husband, when I realized they've done this, I said, you got to go over there. And so he goes. Uh-oh. Are we okay for a moment we're
no, you're good. You look great. No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
So he goes over there and as he's coming up to the house, the man who lives there comes up and he said, oh yeah, packages get delivered here all the time for various addresses. And he said, I'll help you because this thing was so heavy. It took the two of them to walk it down the street to get it to our place. And they just finally, my husband's like, I was about to I felt like I was just dying there. The two of us carrying this heavy bed, and we got it to the garage. And he said, "That's as far as I'm going to take it for right now, and we'll deal with it later."
So they just decide, you know what? We're not going to deliver these. We always drop stuff off at this one place. So let's just leave it there. He'll make sure it gets to the right place.
This guy says, he told my husband, he's like, my wife called me and said there's a big package out here, and he hadn't ordered anything, and so she just left it, because I don't think she could have done anything with it anyway, because it was just too big. And the two of them, so now they're best friends for life because he helped him do that. So it's great. So everybody's been super nice. And it's just this internet problem. But, it's kind of a slow sports time. So, I did watch a little bit of Wimbledon at a friend's house because I just wanted to see a little bit. And I was hoping, Coco Gauff could pull that thing off and we'd have an American. But, she lost there in the semifinals. Yeah. But it was a great 3-set tiebreaker. It was awesome. But, yeah. It's just been kind of living like the old days. You don't have, like I said, the cell phones barely work and you don't have any Wi-Fi. But, it's coming, and I'm keeping a positive attitude, Rick, because, what else?
That's all you can do. That's all you can do in life. Yep.
It's coming,
all you can do. I know.
There's a time we didn't have all this stuff, and we lived just fine. So.
Correct. That might have been a better time, actually.
Yeah, because some of that stuff on the internet, I keep telling my kids, some of the stuff, not
Wayne wants you, he's ordering a sausage McGriddle, if you don't mind picking him one up.
I have had one of those are good, but I feel like they're just so sweet. They're just super sweet. Like, I don't know. It probably does all of your sugar content for the day in one meal.
I would think so. Yeah. Put some syrup on that thing. You're good. You're good at that point. Yeah. So maybe you should change your order when you go in. You may have earned a sausage McGriddle, not just a biscuit.
They're super good, but I think I just want the biscuit. I think I just want a sausage biscuit. Maybe I'll get egg on it too.
Ooh,
sausage.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely you should.
Oh, should I get them with a sausage, egg, and cheese? Yeah.
No, 100%. 100% you should. Yeah.
So, whatever. Again, this is not an endorsement. McDonald's is not paying me, but I appreciate their Wi-Fi.
No, it's okay. I can't knock McDonald's. They're always there when you need them. You may not have it on your mind when you're out and you go, that double cheeseburger deal right now seems really, really good. I think I'm going to go get that. It's okay.
Everybody has their order. Like my son loves the McDouble with bacon. That is his order. He loves that. And my daughter just likes the French fries. And
they're still money, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
they are money. All right. So people are asking. How can mobile internet be that bad in a major U.S. city?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to call out my cell carrier because I don't know if it's just them. But it's like when we found out we couldn't get the Wi-Fi, we're like, oh, we'll just use our phones. No big deal. But our service is very bad. Okay. And so, yes, I can call people, but anything other than that, if I'm just going to a basic website, not even a fancy website, with a lot of graphics and stuff, it takes it forever to load. And I've had people come over for things and they're like, I can't call my home base or something I can't pull up whatever app I need for this. I said, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to go outside. It'll be better. So that's why I didn't even try this. I had to drive away from home a little bit, like I said, to a shopping center where I figured it would be better. And And again, I don't want to call out my cellular carrier because I like them, but I just think, because just quickly last week, I told you I bought a device from them to try to boost the internet just till we could get the regular Wi-Fi.
It didn't work.
That device, no, it is I want to return it. And my husband's like, I don't think we can return it. I think there's no, I'm going to try my best to return it because it hasn't worked. It was supposed to be like a stopgap to kind of help you boost your internet until you can get the real deal. It's not worked. And it wasn't cheap. And I think they make you do a subscription for it. So I want to return it. He's telling me I don't think you can. I think we're locked in. Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to definitely try. I'm going to be nice, but I'm going to try to return it because it has been absolutely no help. None whatsoever.
Yeah. It's the way it is. That's the way it is about everything nowadays.
Yeah.
Prometheus wants a chicken biscuit with no biscuit. So just just get him a piece of chicken. Yeah.
I am not a big fan of McDonald's chicken. I just don't think the chicken is where they excel. So, if you want it, if you were here, I'd be happy to get you one. But
But you know what is good is the fish sandwich. It was. I used to love that fish sandwich. I did.
It's funny. I have never had that in my whole life. I just feel like you go to McDonald's for like the fries.
I know. Yes.
It makes me nervous, but I have heard other people say it's good too. So maybe I'll try it one day, but I'm not adventurous enough. And plus it's not lunchtime, so I can't try it right now.
I understand. So what's on the docket today for Marv? You're out and about without the family.
I'll be going to work. Like I can't, I work from home. I can't work from home though with this situation. So I work. I've been working I could go to like a library or something and work, and it's okay. It kind of feels like traditional work again, like you leave to go to work. But yeah, I can't work from home, so it's this has been a bit of an annoyance. But again, positive attitude. I mean, I'm happy to be in a new place, and I know it's going to eventually work out fine. So no big deal.
Urban says KFC or Popeyes only has good chicken sandwiches. Who's your favorite? If you want a chicken sandwich, where do you go?
I mean, I'm a Chick-fil-A.
Me too.
Sandwich, I go to
100%. 100%. Now, the Popeye sandwich is good. The Popeye sandwich is good. It is.
But I remember when all the hype was when they brought their new sandwich and there were lines around the places. I still remember one night my husband wanted one and I happened to be out and I said, I'll stop and get you one. This is at the peak of the hype. And there was a line around the store and I had to wait and wait. And so I got one sandwich. Huh. Yeah. When it first came out, the Popeye, I think that's right. First came out. I got one for him. I got one for me, and I was not very impressed. So I'm still Chick-fil-A all day. I was like, this is okay. It's not. I should not have waited in line for this. So
Chick-fil-A all day, absolutely.
Yeah. And absolutely. I love the fries too. I love the waffle fries. And again, this is not a paid endorsement, people. They don't even know who I am. I mean, I do have the app though, but have you ever bought their chips? You can buy Chick-fil-A chips now.
Yeah, I have seen them. Yeah.
And they have if you haven't got them, I will say, guys, go get them. They have a certain kind of seasoning on them that makes them really good. So again, this is not a paid endorsement, but I'm just telling you, it's just straight from the heart. Very good chips.
For me, this hits it right on the head. This is why this is the best watching, listening audience on YouTube. The Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit, he says is pretty good. No.
Oh,
it is the holy grail.
Well, I am from North Carolina. I love Bojangles. They do not have Bojangles here. And so when I go to Bojangles, though, I like to get the country ham biscuit. I love the country ham biscuit. That is my order from Bojangles. And get some sweet tea with that.
Oh, sweet tea.
I am so upset they don't have Bojangles here, but they do.
I know. What? Why would they not have Bojangles in Florida?
Well, I'm not saying not in Florida, but they don't have it this far south in
Miami.
Florida.
I got you.
Because when I used to live in Central Florida, there was a Bojangles there, but not a lot. You could, it was kind of hit or miss whether you'd find one. So, I mean, they're not here, but they should be here. I mean, that's a good biscuit.
Well, you can't lose with the Cajun filet. It's what I always get. I don't care what time of day I'm there because they serve them all day because they're so popular. That is exactly what I get.
Okay. Well, it's country ham for me, but I agree. It's just the biscuits taste so good. And, it's boat time, right? Again, not a pain.
It's boat time.
But, it's such a part of, I feel like the culture even in North Carolina to go to.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I miss that here. That's something I look forward to when I go back because I can't get that here. And I also can't get Cookout. And if you have Cookout, they don't have Cookout here.
No, you're not missing much there.
I love Cookout. Well, I like their fries. I think they're interesting, and I love that they give you so many.
They give you a lot of shakes. Okay, I'll say that. They
have a bunch, so many different kinds of shakes.
Yeah, like 40 different types of shakes or whatever. So yeah,
so many different kinds. It's good stuff.
Wayne says you and I have started a new segment here. It's Food Time with Marvin.
We can talk about our best, fast food finds. Maybe next time we talk about what do they call it? The fast casual places. We can talk about all that.
Do you have a Biscuitville around you? Jeff's asking.
No Biscuitville here. No.
Okay. All right. So today it's going to be a sausage and egg biscuit, I think.
Yeah. I'm getting sausage, egg, and cheese. Right?
Cheese, yeah, you got to get cheese. I was going to say, you got to get cheese.
And I should probably get a hash brown with it. I should probably do the whole meal, too.
Yeah, go for it.
I think they're known. People now like McDonald's coffee, but I'm not a coffee drinker, so okay.
Yeah, I'm not either. Well, listen, thanks so much.
Or maybe I'm frozen.
No, you're good. You're moving, but it sounds like it's about to kind of fizzle out a little bit. But thanks for your efforts this morning, Marva.
I'm losing you.
I know, Marva. No, Marva, no. Thank you for everything. You stay safe.
Okay.
Have a good day at work.
Thank
have
you.
A good day.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
All right, we'll get you next week. You'll be back. You'll be up and running next week. Yeah, that's Marva. Oh, that was great. Marva showing complete dedication to the program, much like Balboa Creed. Talk amongst yourselves. Bojangles has replaced Hardee's. I love the jangles, man. Hang on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Good stuff. Got the Creed in. The McRib. McRib is always very popular at McDonald's. I've had a McRib or two. It's been around too long, right, for it not to be one of the most successful business models ever. Thanks, Marva. Appreciate you. No, it was great. Letting her know how much I appreciated that right there. That was good. By the way, I want to thank all of our sponsors. And don't forget that this Saturday is going to be the Bash. Come on out and see us. Hang out with us this Saturday. Where's my Bash picture? 6 o'clock at the NRV Super Bowl. There we go. Give them a call, 540-382-5525. We'll be there starting at 6. Coach Elmo will be there, and we'll have a really, really good time. And we're really looking forward to it. Sundown Electric, one of the best reputations, long list of satisfied clients. Reach out to them. Clear communication. They are very honest. The Smith brothers doing a great job. ReadySetFund.com. Reach out to Bob Christ at Gmail. Bob, CRST11 at Gmail. And if you've got dire need of equipment problems for your sports team, high school team, church group, youth group, whatever, let Ready Set Fund show you how a series of text messages can help you reach your goal quickly. We've been talking about Professional Door, 40 years in business here in July, and they're celebrating that by offering you $40 off your service visit. Preventative maintenance, just make the schedule here in July. Tell them you heard us talking about it. And you immediately get $40 shaved right off the top. 674-0008. 674-0008. National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of BDST here on YouTube, and my exclusive banking partner. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. James Lawson at Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. He's going to be at the Bash, I understand, on Saturday. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. They've been doing it since 1997. The attorney, Ryan Pry. And our BDST fan question of the week is all over the place. Close Encounters of the Third Kind just got a vote. 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. So I went with Wayne's suggestion. We're doing the summer blockbuster, and it is all over the place. I know, right? Look at Creed in that picture. He's got the shades on because he's already like feeling the effects of whatever's in that red cup. Right now, just on YouTube, Low Country, because I haven't figured out how to put it other places. I wish it were. And it's probably a lot easier than I'm making it. Pulaski County Sports Entertainment is our presenting sponsor. I was at the Sportsplex. It is unbelievable. We got to do more live stuff from there coming up as the year goes on. Can't wait to show you more once they get it finished. Man, oh man, oh man. McClellan Chiropractic. It's Mark Hundley, 155 Walters Drive. We took a video there as well. Last week, Mark showed you the diagnostics. Next time I'm there, we're going through it. We're going to have somebody film it. We didn't have enough hands to actually film me going through the stuff. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios. First sponsorship we had here, the new program on YouTube, 540-200-8294, familyfencingnrv.com. The bash is Saturday, as you see, at 6 o'clock. We invite you to come out and join us. Yeah. I worked as a manager at Wendy's. The meat was legit. Yep. I've always heard that from anybody who's worked there. Yep. Yep. And, pound for pound, that's probably the better burger if you just want a fast food burger. I like Five Guys, but if you're just driving through the fast food chain and you say, hey, I want to get a double from Wendy's, you're going to be eating pretty good. Going to be eating pretty darn good. Without question. National Bank member FDIC, by the way, exclusive banking partner of me. In case I didn't get them in. I can't remember if I did or not. I want to leave them out again. And they refinanced all my stuff, made it easy. If you need to switch a bank, I think you should reach out to those folks. Family Fencing has a huge sign as you exit 460. Yeah, I heard they were going to do that. I heard from Jason Green they were going to do that. Five Guys is way too expensive. It is. It's something that you can't go to all the time. When you're in the mood for one, that's what I get. It's changed a little bit, too. The burger used to be first run of the show, toward the end of the show, when the new Five Guys location opened in Blacksburg. We did the show there every Friday. And, yeah, we do, Wayne. We got a room where all the food and beverages are going to be. They're taking care of us, man. So you just come out. You don't have to do a thing. Just come out. Morris is buying everyone 16 different beverages. No, I'm just kidding. But we used to do the show there every Friday. And, of course, I would leave there every Friday with a burger and a bag of the fries. The fries are delicious still. And the burgers are good. They're just not quite the same. Not quite the same. But, yeah, Wayne's right. You can do a lot worse than a Wendy's burger. A lot worse. And I will eat at McDonald's. One day a year, I will pay homage. Now, everybody knows what I'm talking about. When you were growing up, Long John Silver's was a delicacy. I mean, it came out, and it wasn't like it is now, if you will. We would work on the farm all day long. And there was the Long John's in Radford, and you'd be starving. And you'd go in and just get fish, chicken plain. And the fish then was, we were seriously talking about some battered fish. And the chicken planks were, I mean, and you just get a box. And we all, my brother and I, my dad, we all got separate orders of just boxes of stuff because we were so hungry. We just ate it all. You couldn't wait to go to Long John's. So I will once a year pay homage, and I haven't done it yet this year. I need to. Just go by there and grab some. It's not the same. Pieces are small. Doesn't taste the same. But it was different then. You get the little pirate hat. And I did. I would walk out of there with the pirate hat on my head. I know they should have. Wendy should have left the grease in the burger, made it juicy. Yeah, because if you're going to go there, right, the bun would get all greasy. 100%. That's a great call. That's a great call. Oh, great, Tebow. Looking forward to it, man. Yeah, man. Come on out there. 6 o'clock. And, you know, we don't have a set time. You know, I can't imagine it'll last past 9. But, yeah, come on out. Coach Elmo's going to be there. Five Guys gives you a paper bag of fries that would choke a moose. They do. They're good. Peanut oil, too. But they are delicious. They are delicious. And they're very nice there. They're very nice at Five Guys. So Marva's kept us talking about fast food all morning. Appreciate Marva. I mean, that's a lot of effort right there. Now she got the car. She's using the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Anyone wants to question the dedication of Marva or anybody, Marva should be your example. Big Al's going to be there too, I understand, on Saturday. Exactly. Does anybody go to Wendy's really care? Yeah, if you've made it's exactly my point, Al. If you're making that decision, you've already made the decision. You don't give me like a half-hearted, healthy whatever. Just give me the thing the way God intended. I'm there. Long John's was so good back in the 70s and 80s. See, exactly, Jeff. Now I eat there about once every 5 years. Remind myself I don't do it anymore. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to put a live video when I go to Long John's. Morning, Rodney. Checked in to watch sports and food menus broke out. Yeah. That's what's so great about this program. Hey, one time back in 2005, we went through the $6 Million Man Bigfoot episodes, and the whole week was he a cyborg or a robot? And we've never gotten more response over a non-sports topic in my life to this day. It just kept going. Top 5 fast food burgers. Ooh. Fries, there is no discussion. I guess where are we going? McDonald's and Wendy's fries, the top 2? You think, Wayne? All right. Joining us now on the program is that gentleman, Brian Siegel from the Boundary Corner podcast. So, Brian, when you're out and about and you're like you've been working, and let's say your wife's got out of town and you're like pretty hungry, and you're going by and you want a fast food burger, or where are you going to stop? Where are you going to stop? If they're all lined up together, there's 4 or 5 right there, and you just need to get something. Where are you going?
If they're all lined up together and I've got my pick of the litter here and I need a fast food burger, it's got to be Wendy's.
There you go. That's what we were just talking about. There you go.
It's got to be Wendy's. It's got to be Wendy's. They've got the best. I think they've got the best combination of burgers and fries. So if you're looking for like a meal, like I don't think it gets much better at the fast food level. I think Burger King burgers are pretty good, but their fries are kind of awful.
Yeah, they're terrible. Yeah, terrible fries.
I think McDonald's is just, if you're craving McDonald's, nothing
Correct.
else will do.
Correct.
but
Correct.
at the same time, it's definitely not the best.
Yeah, but you're right. And you just hit it on the head because you just get in your mind, you know what? I want that taste. I want that aura of McDonald's, so I'm going there. I may pass by 2 other places that's probably a little better, but
yeah,
I had a hanker. Yeah.
And I mean, their fries are still elite. I'll give them their flowers.
They
on
are
their fries, but
they are.
Yeah, everything else is kind of mid.
The
But
Wendy's
if you
fries
want
are
it, you
good though.
want it.
Yeah, the Wendy's done a good job of improving their fries over the years. Those are good.
They finally went to the more natural cut, and I think the real dependency is that if you can get Wendy's fries fresh, it's a big difference.
Yes,
especially if they're cooked a little longer, like they got a little more crisp to them. That's what you want. That's the sweet spot.
So now I'm getting text messages. Where's the love for Arby's? Well,
you know what? Arby's is not a burger restaurant.
It's not a burger. Yeah, it's not really a burger restaurant.
It's fast food, but it's not a burger restaurant.
No.
Just like I wouldn't put Chick-fil-A in this conversation. Like,
no, exactly.
This is about burgers.
This is about burgers. We're just talking about burgers. Yeah, exactly. All right. Sorry, we got distracted. It's all Marva's fault. She was sitting at a McDonald's with her using their Wi-Fi because her house hasn't gotten Wi-Fi yet. Her new house. So.
Oh no.
So it's just like kind of got us down the rabbit hole.
having a McCafe morning.
Yes, we were. All right. So speaking of going down the rabbit hole, I know you guys had a fun topic last week on the Boundary Corner, right? You were talking about historic defensive stalwarts, erasers, if you will, right? Using the new
and we kind of framed it in the James Franklin sense, in that he's like, erasers can really be on the defensive side, but they can also be on the offensive side, something that negates what a defense does well. So, we kind of took it from that approach and kind of talked through, either players that had very dominant runs or had one specific skill set that could just take away something that the offense or defense could do. And I thought it was a really good conversation. And one of the ones that came up is definitely somebody that's, kind of, I think, close to a lot of folks in Hokie Nation's heart historically, and that's David Wilson. Thinking not only what he could do from a running back position, but what he did in kick returns, and what he did with kick returns when it felt like you absolutely needed it. Because there would be a lot of times where you get a team that, the defense would allow them to pull even or take the lead, and then he'd get the ball on the next kickoff and take it to the house, and all of a sudden you feel pretty good again.
I love David Wilson, man. Not only was he a heck of a player and so fast, but he was a great, great dude. Interviewing him back then, he was a good dude. He really was. That's a good one. Cornell Brown always comes up whenever we talk to coaches. He was the first one and everything. Did he come up in your discussion a whole lot?
Cornell came up pretty early. When we made the episode art, we got a Corey Moore photo on there from the '99 team. So, I think when you think about kind of those early erasers, I think those are the first two that kind of come to mind for me. I think you could probably throw a couple other names in there as well, but those are two big ones from the '90s that we had some long discussions on. Obviously, Xavier Debe was in the conversation. I don't think any defensive player has looked as good in a Virginia Tech jersey as Xavier Debe. He looked like he was like in that jersey. He looked like he was built to play the position.
Yeah, you're right. Nah,
with the collar, like everything, top to bottom, he looked like he was built to play linebacker for Virginia Tech.
Do you have to go like big shoulder pad era, like Cornell Brown, to the Xavier Debe era? You have to separate the eras with shoulder pads because those guys look massive.
It's like there was the evolution. Like, I mean, now they're like the shoulder pads are nothing. DB's was like that first trim, right? Like it wasn't quite as thick, but it also wasn't nothing. I think that was the sweet spot for like looking the part, if you will.
Yeah. Let's see. Tebow's asking Brian, Corey Moore, Bruce Smith, who you taking? Well, I know who I'm taking.
I mean, I love Corey Moore, but I mean, Bruce Smith is an all-timer in college and the NFL, so it's hard to really go any other direction on that one.
I guess because of his size, it didn't work out. But I'm really surprised Corey Moore did not have an established NFL career, given what he brought to the table. But I guess he couldn't really. He was kind of that positionless guy.
The tweener. The tweener.
Yeah. That's why that didn't work out, I don't think.
And it was a tweener before the era of tweeners, because I feel like you could be a tweener now and have a great career, but everything was very boxed in that era at that time. You didn't really get to it was really like Palomalu and some of those guys that came in. I mean, even not thinking outside of the linebacker DN hybrid thing, but more just hybrid positions in general. Like Palomalu was kind of the first one to really take that and make it his own. And then, we've seen a lot more position fluidity since then, especially, linebacker to edge and, linebacker to safety, all that kind of stuff. So.
Well, since you talked about the X-Men, what about Vince? What about number 9? Did he show up in there?
He did, yeah. I mean, you can't have one without the other.
No, you can't, man. Peanut butter and jelly, man. Come on.
That's right. I mean, definitely the best duo in Virginia Tech history, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, at one time, those guys. Oh my goodness gracious, man. And again, before the era of the big money, but just great down-to-earth people. And I think that's what I always go back. I remember vividly sitting down with both of them at Media Day. Those guys were just, of course, Media Days aren't necessarily like that now. They've changed them so much. But you remember those days. You had easy access, and the players were so welcoming and forthcoming and open about whatever. And they were just good dudes. Coach Beamer not only had great players, he was bringing in really good people, wasn't he? Over the years.
And I think that's what made this episode so fun to do, was just kind of you got to reminisce on what they did on the field, but you also kind of got to talk about how they were off the field. So I mean, for those of us that had some of that interaction, or at least saw some interviews and all that, so that was a whole lot of fun. And we got one more lined up before we start getting into our preseason shenanigans. So we're gonna take another side quest here before we get into the real stuff.
But those are so much fun, though. We know when you get down, start talking about those players. Everybody has their own memories. It's so much fun, isn't it? It's so good, so good.
Yeah, this is a great time of year to take a trip down memory lane as well. Like, it's just you're in the summer, you're feeling good, it's warm outside. Like, it's just a great time for memory lane.
Wayne talking about Eddie Royal. Eddie, and Eddie, early on, I kind of had a sense of what he was going to end up doing after football, because he co-hosted the show with me like 2 or 3 times back. We did it from Bud Foster's restaurant. Uh-huh. You could kind of sense that he was going to be that. He was a dynamic punt returner. He was great. His rookie year for my Broncos is still off the charts in terms of how many touchdowns he scored on kick returns. I mean, that guy was really locked in there for a while, wasn't he? Eddie was terrific.
Eddie was great, and it's so interesting, because you think about it, like, that crop of wide receivers that kind of all came in within 1 year of each other. Like, most of them found their way into the NFL, whether it was on a practice squad. You had a couple others that had a pretty long career, and then you had Eddie that I think as far as career is concerned, definitely had the best of the bunch there, and he was just so dynamic on the field with what he could do with the football in his hands, whether he was catching it, whether it was punt return. Like, he could do so many things. He was just so good at the open field and making people miss and accelerating to finish the play. I think, when you look at guys that are the home run hitters, I mean, he was certainly one that could hit the home run for you, erase the bad play on defense, if we're going to go back into our topic there. So, Eddie's great. Love what he's doing now too. And like, to your point, I didn't know that he did that, when he was still in Blacksburg. So that's really cool.
Yeah, he did. He asked to jump on because I'd gotten to know him a little bit. He would come on regularly as a guest, and then he wanted to just do it. We were set up. Can I jump on? No, Eddie, we don't want you. Of course. Yeah, of course. Here's your headset. Yeah.
I've got 5 over there. Pick your favorite.
Yeah, come on, man. You don't have to ask. Just jump on. It's like when Reggie Jackson asked me if he could call 4 innings with me. Gee, I don't know, Mr. October. Yes. I got a question here. 2 of my favorite all-time players that you know and a Tech fan knows that you don't hear talked about as much: Ben Taylor and Jake Grove.
Okay.
Jake Grove was nasty.
Jake came up.
Yeah, Jake did come up. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
Jake came up. And I will say, I'll harken back to the early days of the Boundary Corner. One of the first episodes that we were kind of putting through, because like we started just before COVID hit. So we had a period of time where we got to do a whole lot of filler episodes because outside of, the COVID recruiting, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about for 4 or 5 months there. So we did our Hokies Mount Rushmore for offense and for defense. And Ben Taylor came up in those conversations as well. I think just from a guy that always seemed to be at the right place, I don't think you can get much better than Ben Taylor. And when thinking about Jake Grove, the mentality that he came to play with was just second to none. And I think that made the difference for him because he beat you mentally before he pounded you physically. And then, he was pretty good at that second part too.
I remember Coach Foster was talking about Ben Taylor once. He said he just kept winning us over. He's a walk-on, right? He wouldn't go away. He would not allow us to allow him to walk away. He just kept showing. And next thing you know, here he is starting and here he is captaining. He was just that guy. He was just so typical. Coach Beam returned so many guys into great players. And I don't know. Ben Taylor, number 40. Old number 40. Just a terrific player. And Jake Grove's famous for having the first F-bomb ever on BDST back in the day. We were interviewing him. And you know how fired up he was.
A man after my own heart.
And we got into the conversation, and I was just like, so ultimately, what is it about you that's made you into an the guy that's just kind of the stalwart? He goes, because every time I go in there, I just look at him, and they know by the look in my eyes, I am effing going to kick your ass. And he says this on the air, and we're like, okay, we're just going to let that go. But, it was perfect because that's who he was.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have said that. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Hey. Again, a man after my own heart. I can appreciate that. I love that.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, that's fun, man. When's your next show? You taking time off? Or what are you doing?
We're off this week. We're back next week. We got some folks traveling this week, so we'll circle back next week, and then after that we'll be getting kind of close to August. We'll start putting together some of our preseason panel episodes. We're going to break it up this year. Instead of doing one long 3 segment, we're going to break it up. We're going to have one each week throughout early August, and then we'll close out some of that preseason talk with a little bit of our own preview, looking at how the depth chart's rounded out and what our actual predictions are going to be for records, and we'll go game by game and talk that through.
Well, we got the ACC kickoff coming up.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be there. I think this is correct. They don't ever come out post media day with a 1-16 prediction, do they? They don't have do they do that in the ACC? Do they pick the conference winners? Or is that just something people do on their own?
I think that's something people do on their own. I don't think there's an official avenue.
That's what I thought. There's not a poll, is there, like we see in other leagues and all that?
I don't think so.
I didn't think they did. So, which is fine. I mean, those things are what they are, but I didn't think they did. So we'll see how that goes this week as we get closer and closer. We're getting there, brother, right? We're 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from everybody getting back, and they've been around, but I mean, getting back on the field here soon. Practice coming up.
To strap them back up, getting outside. Yeah. I mean, that looks like they've been outside. They've been running some hills, so I'm sure.
Yeah, they've been outside already. Well, it's going to be interesting to see. There's always going to be surprise teams in the league. Let's look at the ACC. We're right. Nobody had Virginia and Duke playing in the title game. I know I didn't, you know. I didn't think Wake Forest would win 9 games. I didn't think Tech would win 3 games, right? So you never know, man. That's what's so as crazy as college football is, as much as we hate just about everything about it that's going on right now, at least we have the games. So
it's every year, and especially in the ACC, there's 1 or 2 things or 1 or 2 teams that are going to be good, and 1 or 2 teams that are going to probably be bad. And then everybody in the middle, it could be 3 wins, it could be 10 wins, and it's really hard to tell when the season starts. You got UVA that they've been living and dying by the portal, and they got the dice roll right last year. We'll see if that continues this year. They've got probably the most returning talent they've had in a while, but at the same time, they're still very much filling their holes in the transfer portal. So there's going to be a mix of new characters in there. So we'll see how that jives with the returning talent. And
yeah.
I don't think we're going to see Duke back in.
Doesn't feel like it, does it? But I'll give Manny Diaz. I'll give Manny credit. Manny Diaz, who's been on. He was on the old radio show a couple of times. He's done a nice job there. I didn't expect him to be as immediately successful as he was there after the Miami situation. He's done a nice job.
I think he's embraced it more than I expected.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like he's embraced the Duke-ness of it all way more than I expected. Because for somebody that came from Miami, was had a stint as DC at Penn State, I didn't think he would just go into Duke and really tackle it in a way that I think made sense for what Duke can do well and what they can't do well. Like, I think he's really approached it in a smart way.
Yeah, I do too. Bill Belichick has not yet. No. And I said somebody asked here on the text line, Teddy asked, I'm Carolina lifer. This is Brian. Do you think Carolina can have any success while he's there? Or is this just a sideshow, biblical proportions? It's not going to get worked out until they decide to do this thing the right way.
It's interesting because, he hasn't recruited badly. At the same time, the only product we've seen on the field was a clown show, and everything we've seen off the field has been a clown show. So I'm wondering if, some of the glitter's starting to fleck off of the Belichick aura here. And I think that's going to be that was the thing, that was the selling point of getting him to UNC, is that you can sell his history, but as you start to tarnish that history, that's going to get to a point of diminishing returns. And if you're not doing well on the field, I don't think this is going to go well long term. And I said it when the hire happened. I was like, this is either going to be the best thing they could have done, or it's going to be an absolute clown show. And so far, it's been an absolute clown show.
It has, and he's kind of embraced it too as a clown show. It's great. It's just been weird. It's weird.
I think him embracing that part of it has been weirder than anything else, because all the Patriot stories is like, all right, well, he's got these things and the Patriot way and like all this stuff, and like the Patriot way would have never allowed some of the things that are happening at North Carolina right now.
Correct. It's like it's 2 different people. He's almost like he's never coached the game before when he shows up there on the sideline down Chapel Hill.
And I can appreciate someone wanting to do a fresh start or maybe try something new, because maybe, I think we saw at the end that without the right mix of talent in the building, the Patriot way wasn't going to win in the NFL. So maybe he went back to the drawing board and this is what he came up with. And it's a clown show, but at least he's trying something new. I don't know if we even give him credit for that, but that's my only theory here.
Funny how quickly that went from being the Patriot way to the Brady way. Let's just say it the way it was, right? As soon as he left the building, see ya. Let's go to Tampa and win a Super Bowl there, for goodness sakes.
And I think that's a testament to Brady being able to do whatever is needed to be done in the moment. And I think
100%.
that's probably, if you want to talk about Brady's superpower, it's not necessarily anything he does with his arm. It's being able to rise to the moment, regardless of what's needed in the moment. And I think, and I'm no Brady fan. I mean, you see the Colts helmets in the background. He burned us.
I know.
Years, so.
I know. But he knew he could make every throw. He perfected every throw. You're right. He didn't kill you with the arm, but everything he had, probably at least in my lifetime, he and Joe Montana, the two greatest intangible quarterbacks ever. Those guys, I mean, he had every part of it. So there you go. Well, good stuff, man. Always great to see you, as always, and enjoy your time off this week, at least from the show.
Oh yeah. I appreciate it, Rick. Always a pleasure jumping on here. And hey, we had some fun chopping it up today.
Yeah, it was good, man. That was good. People getting all fired up about this stuff. So, and just remembering those guys, man. That's what it was all about in Blacksburg. No question. No question. All right, man. Stay safe.
Appreciate it, brother. Have a good one.
Eat well, Wendy's. Take care. Brian Siegler from the Boundary Corner. Good stuff. Yeah, I know they didn't give up a lot of sacks. What's up, Christopher Lester? They didn't give up a lot of sacks. 18. There you go. That was amongst the best in the country, right? Yeah, look at that. Wake Forest and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech now, they had a good line, but Haynes King did a great job avoiding pressure. Wake just put together some really good football players. My gut says, Tebow says, my gut says UVA will be sneaky good. They lost a lot, but they bring back those two fronts. Correct. That's a hell of a place to start, man. And they bring back some key position guys. Hope I'm wrong. Well, we don't really know. They don't do much. We talk about this a lot. Sounds like a broken record. They don't do much to put anything out there about themselves. They stay pretty quiet. We'll see. What I have heard, because I know John, their play-by-play guy, that Perbola, that's his name, right? Let me make sure I get his name right. I can't stand to get names wrong. It's what I do. It's my job. I can't stand. Yeah, Beau Pribula. So I don't want to just always call him by the wrong name. Pribula. Beau Pribula. There we go. Beau Pribula is terrific. And I've heard he is, and this is not dissing Chandler Morris, who had a great year, but they're like, it's night and day. So if UVA has the quarterback behind that offensive line, and apparently the running backs are pretty solid, I know. It sounds crazy. They're just coming off their best season ever. And Tony Elliott is about showing he doesn't talk. They don't talk. But Pribula apparently has been just blowing them away. Just saying. And John's pretty good. He doesn't just give out praise, he says coaches are just very, very excited about what they've got in that kid. So we'll see. Yeah, they have the kid from Pitt. Yeah. They got a really good quarterback situation there. So again, their model, they're very dedicated to it. And I'm sorry, everybody asked, and people have asked on the text line in the past, I don't know their money situation. They don't talk about it. I mean, you could probably look it up. but I never hear about them not having enough money to go out in the portal, because that's what they did last year, and they've done the same thing this year. I think, I don't know if judgment is the right word. I think that'll be criticized less and less as we go along in this new era that now has no end in sight, especially since all the lawsuits against the 5-year plan. That seems like it should be a slam dunk. It's not going to go through now. Too many players. Now the leagues are stacking up against it. They're calling it age discrimination. The NCAA can't even get that passed. So as we get further along in this process, and look, I hope everybody is right and I'm wrong about these high school kids that are committed to Tech and other places. I hope they end up coming and they're developed, and I hope we can get some feel back to the old school way. I hope. But it sounds like to me, Tony Elliott's looking at this, boom, boom, boom. One year at a time. We have the money. He's already proven to be a good evaluator out of the portal. It's hard for me to sit back, and people always want to say, well, look how they're doing it. Okay. They just came off an 11-win season. They beat an SEC team in a bowl game. They blew the ACC championship. Yes, they did. But we're talking UVA football here. They were picked down toward the bottom with Wake Forest last year, and both had magnificent seasons. So if you think high school recruiting is going to work, and you believe in that system, and you prove you can keep those kids there 2 or 3 years till they can actually contribute when they come in, from when they commit, I'm talking about 2 or 3 years from when they commit heading into their senior year of high school, then that's great. And I know that's what everybody prefers, but can you realistically continue to say that's what you're going to do, and you're just going to fill in from time to time in the portal? Is that realistic in 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028? We'll find out. I would like a little old school. It'd be nice to have some old school. Yeah, their schedule is favorable again, Attorney Ryan Pry. It is. It is. So I don't know which way is going to be the way that ends up being, the long-term view. I think I'm less bothered by the football version of doing it year in and year out in the portal, because I'm living it now at Radford. I'm living it now with our basketball programs in the Big South. You're going to get 1 year out of those guys that come in, and that's basically it. You don't ever expect to see them again. I mean, Radford had 15 players. They lost 12 of them. See ya. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for getting paid. On to the next. So when I hear about football doing it, and football being the big money maker, and the success that UVA had, sans the ACC title win, it's hard for me to sit there and criticize that. Because if you're comfortable evaluating out of the portal, that you got to find your lane as a coach. I mean, Brent Pry was not a good evaluator overall out of the portal. Now, he hit on a few, but if you're an evaluator of talent, does it really matter how it gets there? If you have the funding, which I'm guessing they do, there you go, Big Al. Okay, there you go. There's a program that was dedicated to just high school kids, and it completely fell apart. That's a great example, Big Al. And then finally, the mega billionaire, millionaire, whatever the hell they are, that gives, if you go down to Clemson, I say it all the time, you're just going to sit there and just start drooling at their facilities. In every sport. They said, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're falling behind. You had a coach who was very, very anti-portal in any way, shape, or form. And maybe he was an exaggeration of it, but he said, we can still do this. We're going to build a roster through high school recruiting. We're Clemson. We're going to build a roster. We're going to do this. We're going to develop. No. See, those kids didn't stay, or they didn't develop. They went somewhere else, or they just didn't pan out at all. And then he fell behind, and Clemson hasn't recovered yet from that decision. Right? So we'll see. We'll see what we're going to be looking at long term. Certain programs will have a much better opportunity to keep high school kids than others just because they can pay more. And I'm just telling you, if you think it's anything else but that, you're incorrect. Yeah, you might like the coach. You may have been talking to him for 2 or 3 years. Your family may be very familiar with him. But at the end of the day, who is paying me more? And you know what? I'd be the same way. So would you. So would you. Yep. Yep. Oh, very cool, Tebow. Yeah, bring whomever, man. The bash is, let me put this back up. The bash is, boom, Saturday at the NRB Super Bowl. Come by and see us, starting at 6, and we hope to see you there. Couple 3 hours. Coach Elmo's going to be there. I got to ask Burnip if he's going to join us today. I keep forgetting to ask Mike. I don't want to forget to ask Mike. So don't let me forget that today. Y'all hit me up and chat. Do not let me forget to ask Mike Burnip. I think he's in town now, right? He might go back to Florida. Maybe I would do that if I were him. Maybe I would do that. Maybe I would do that. Throw some T-shirts in the car, try to sell those. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Remind me to do that. I'll forget that too. Yeah, just, hey, you might want to purchase some shirts while we're here. Yeah, that was the old mindset, Prometheus. Culture comes from high school. You build the foundation and piece it. That's what you want. That would be ideal. How realistic is that? That's what we're going to find out. We'll find out. The proof is in the pudding. We'll find out. Yeah, I know. I got to figure that out too, Chris. Everybody loves the Pop logo. It is a good logo. I think we're having another one on Thursday, by the way, another Pop. So yeah, I need to do that. I got to reach out to Brandon. See if I can get a few Pop shirts made. But it's got to build a little bit more. It's been good, though. It's building. I know a lot of people are going back and watching. It's gotten more and more views and interactions. So it's getting there. It just takes a little time. Plus, it's only once a week, so it's a little different than the daily. The Daily Show. Let's talk Gator Bites and tuna tips. I was so disappointed on my honeymoon not getting there a little late for the Gator Bites. That was disappointing. We've talked a lot of food today, haven't we? Everybody hungry? Anybody else hungry? We've been talking a lot of food. Get a pop shirt with a star crossed out behind Chris that will sell. That's true. Have Chris Lester on there with the cowboy. Oh, sure. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'll start to do some of that research myself. I keep waiting on a research piece. I need to see like these rosters that are like, I want to see how many of them are portal heavy. How many of them? There's got to be somebody that's doing that, right? Does 247 do that? I don't subscribe, so I wouldn't know. What does it say about portal era parity when an ACC non-league champion and the all-time losing Power 4 program play for the national championship? True. Look, you think Indiana's worried about high school recruiting? You think Kirk Cignetti is going to go from the formula after winning a natty and playing in the playoff in year one? No. We'll see. We will see what the long-term prognosis might be. Yeah, they're bringing back the fourth most returning players, but from a 3-9 team, I'm not sure that's a ringing endorsement. Maybe they now will perform better. We shall see. But I think there needs to be those sites need to start breaking that down. Then Brandon says he doesn't think they do. Well, they need to, right? I think that would be some insight. Yep. Tebow, that is correct. They have. Because guess what? They are the first team in the Commonwealth to play in the college football playoff. No one will ever take that away from them. The director of athletics at James Madison joins us tomorrow. Matt Roan. I just seeing all these lawsuits against the 5 years to play, and now that's not going to happen. I don't know what hope we have for any of this to even stop becoming a constant conversation. Because there's no way they're going to win. The NCAA never wins. And now you've got leagues suing. It's now gotten up to what, 24 individual players suing. You can't even put forth something that makes more common sense than anything else that they've done in I don't know how long without it being challenged. And immediately you just know the air's coming out of it's done. It's done. They can't even win that. So how is it ever going to be policed? And by the way, they're not going to instruct the commissioner. Everybody keeps talking about who's going to hire them? The breakaway, whatever the breakaway ends up being, those folks, whoever's. See, and this is where I get into the whole thing about we hear about money so much, and yet I don't hear a lot of schools complaining about, well, I hear them complaining. I don't hear a lot of schools coming up with any kind of solutions, especially in the SEC or the Big Ten. Have you noticed that? By the way, have you heard Notre Dame one time talk about any of this? Because Notre Dame can play this money game however long they need to. So they just sit back and you think about what Notre Dame is given. You want to talk about power. And I said this, and I got some pushback when we first started this program, which, by the way, will be a year in August. Hard to believe. It was during football season, and people started asking about Notre Dame joining a conference, and I was just telling you what I was told. They're never going to join a conference. There's never even a thought process there. Look what they're given. Their own TV network, right? They're allowed to participate in the playoff without having to win a conference championship, without having to play conference games. They can schedule whatever they want. And now all they have to do is finish in the top 12 every year to be guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. They are given everything. And we went over the TV ratings. It's not like they dominate. They get a little over 3.5 million viewers. Well, Alabama gets almost 9 million. Florida State's right there, more, as a matter of fact, than Notre Dame. I go back the first time we visited there, 2019, we being Radford basketball and the Highlanders backcourt of Carlik Jones and Travis Fields dominated the Irish. And I mean, dominated the Irish. And I remember when we were walking around football stadium, they just put the turf in a couple years before, and they were getting all the people complaining. The turf looks terrible in that stadium, by the way. And I said, so how much money does this place have? And he goes, if you took the end of that broom handle and you knocked out one of the collapsible roof ceilings, he goes, money would probably fall all over you, all over your head. I said, well, I'd like to try that. Can I keep it? And that's true. And that's the other part of it, too, with Notre Dame. We went over, right? Look how long it's been since they won a national title. It's not like they absolutely dominate. The ratings, we've been through that. They're mid-tier. Why does Notre Dame get all that? Yeah, you better believe it, Wayne. The refs stole that game. The second time we had them beat. I mean, they were beat. And then here comes the last 3 minutes of fouling to make sure that mid-major from the Big South, who's already beaten us once, can't do it again. They shot like 11 free throws in the final minute 45, whatever it was. That was one of the more blatant efforts I've seen from a crew. Yeah. Darius got teed up in that game, and rightfully so. It is playoff scenarios for conferences and specifically Notre Dame consideration. Way too much power. Correct. %100% correct. And I guess the question I would ask the other conferences is, why do you allow this? You could lock Notre Dame out. Playoff committee could say, you're not a member of the league. You're not playing on the same stratosphere as the rest of us. You're out. if they're not dominating TV, if they don't, as Big Al pointed out correctly, are they in the hunt for a national championship? Why do they get what they get? Because of their past? Because of their traditions? The name itself? Yeah, if Notre Dame comes into Blacksburg on a Saturday night, it's a little different sounding than it being, Boston College or Syracuse. I get it. But having Notre Dame in the rest of the sports is not something that has done a whole lot to build it up. Basketball, are they ever good in men's basketball anymore? When Muffin McGraw was the women's coach, they were really, really good. But women's basketball, softball, baseball, no. But when everything is done from a financial scope, and it is, everything's looked at from TV ratings to highest deal, does NBC get their money's worth for that deal? I don't know. I guess so, because they continue to incorporate it year in and year out. Joining us now on the program, he's incorporated in Virginia Tech football's press box year in and year out. Mike Burnham, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good morning, Rick. How are you? I'm doing well. Back from the beach and had that big function last night at the Hotel Roanoke. So yeah, it's we're back to the grind. It was quick.
Yes.
That beach week goes by fast.
You're still tasting the tuna tips right now, aren't you?
Oh man, tuna dip. I'm telling you, Rick, the fresh fish down there makes you wonder. When you come around here and you get fish, it's like just not quite the same. Is that fresh grouper and fresh red snapper? And I think the best thing we had was the yellowfin tuna. I cooked that, one of the last nights we were there. And I mean, it would just literally put it on about a minute and a half and on both sides, and then just kind of cut it with your fork and it melts in your mouth. It was delicious.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been talking about food a lot today, so that just kind of adds to it, man. Now we're all really, really hungry hearing you describe that.
It's a little early for fish for me, but
True.
Fish and eggs.
Well, I know it was a sellout last night, Mike, and I know that Coach Elmo was in the building. So
Elmo was in the house. I love catching up with Elmo. He's the best. He tells stories, and we went back in time, and he sent me something the other day that was classic, Rick. He sent me it was two pictures. One of them was when he got his letter from Van Dresser at Virginia Tech saying that they didn't know what the coaching situation was going to be after the season because Bill Dooley, and the other picture was Bill Dooley sues Virginia Tech for whatever it was, $3.5 million or something. Yeah, he sent me those. He still had those in his archives. And it was so cool reading that. Probably done on an IBM typewriter.
yeah, it was.
Signed by Van Dresser, head Van. That's how he signed it. And gosh, that was really a classic. So yeah, we had a good time talking and reminiscing. And Haley Toyota, they were the big sponsor, and he was at that table. Brian Steinspring was at the table.
Yeah.
And of course, Brian White, the new AD, he was there. Ryan Gottlieb, the new deputy AD, he was there. So yeah, it was a great time. Sold out, big crowd. Coach Franklin was great, and Brian, he was great too. So it was a good time, good meal too.
And I know you always look forward to that tour, but it has to feel good now to know that it's over for another cycle, right? Yeah, you can just get ready for this.
Yeah, I mean the big ones are over, but I still got to go to Emporia, Fredericksburg, and I think Crew, and I forget. It seemed like there's one more somewhere. I hate that Pulaski kind of went by the wayside years ago. A couple of people passed away, and that thing kind of got left in the dust a little bit. But man, up at Randolph Park, that was a great venue to have it, and it was always 150 people there. Unbelievable barbecue. But yeah, that thing kind of just went by the wayside, unfortunately. Always look forward to that one. Louise was always at that one. Louise Baker, she was always in Pulaski.
Was she there last night? Was Louise there last night?
If she was, I did not see her. There were a lot of people there, but I did not see her.
Well, we thank Louise Baker all the time when Mike Burnett joins us on the program. I figured she might show up to that one last night. Yeah.
I did too, but again, there's 600 people. It's hard to
you're
find
right.
everybody. So yeah, I couldn't tell, but there were a lot of VIPs. They presented the Hokie Club a check for $50,000. I mean, over the years since that Roanoke Hokie Club has been in existence, they've given like $1.4 million or something to the Hokie Club. And it was a great turnout. That's the only one now that's kind of left. It's a sit-down dinner. The other three that we had in the other venues were all wineries. Not wineries, but kind of craft beer places and that type things. And I don't think Roanoke has a place big enough to do it. So
yeah.
Sit-down dinner, Hotel Roanoke. I mean, it was beautiful. White tablecloths and chairs were covered in white. It was big time and very, very nicely done.
Well, that's good to hear. And now we got kickoff coming up, right? The media kickoff coming up.
Yeah, Thursday they're going down. Kamari Copeland's going, Tyson Flowers, and Marcellus Hawkins. They'll be the three reps for Virginia Tech. And it was so funny. I asked Coach Franklin, I said, do you enjoy those things, or are they kind of like a pain in the butt? And he said, well, if you notice, he says, I'll give really, really long answers. That way I don't have to take a lot of questions.
Yeah, I think we know what the answer is with him. Yeah.
I mean, that's a grind. You're going to this outlet and that outlet, and everybody wants a piece of you. And, it's just that's a stretch of about 8 hours of madness.
Yeah, it is. It's Thursday through the weekend or through Saturday?
Well,
is that what they do?
It's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but they split up the teams since there's so many in the league. And Virginia Tech's day is Thursday. So they'll go up Wednesday night, have dinner somewhere, and then coach and the three players and the posse will be there all day Thursday, and then they'll come back after it's over.
Let me ask you, Mike, we were talking about a couple of things earlier, and I guess the most recent topic was Notre Dame. All right, so I know. And everything that they have been handed, if you look up the evidence of where they sit in the TV ratings, it's not necessarily overwhelming. They're in kind of a mid-tier viewed team, right? And I know they're just on one network, but you would think that would transfer over when they join, games against whomever. They've been given everything, right? They've been given an ability to be part of the playoff without being part of a conference. Now they just have to finish 12th to be part of the playoff. Here you go, whatever you want. They have more money. They don't have to share any money. What is it? Is it just strictly because of who they are? The name is why they're given all these allowances continually by this new system, when it feels like it'd be the first thing the new system would address, but they don't. They're just allowed right in.
Yeah, they kind of have their own name and their own brand, and it's been that way for years. And I'm not sure it's ever going to change unless, something dramatic happens. But, it always gets in my craw a little bit that they're part of the conference that you're in, but everything but football. And so, you're catering to them to have an outlet to have these games and all that sort of stuff, but yet not good enough to be in football conference. So they have their own deal, but it's a powerful brand, as you know. And wherever you play Notre Dame, wherever it's on the home or on the road, it's generally going to sell out because people know Notre Dame and they love the brand. So the Heisman Trophy winners, the history, the tradition, it's all that stuff. And I think NBC has a nice marriage with it, and Notre Dame is certainly benefiting from that. But yeah, I just wish somebody at some point would say, you're all in or you're out. But that probably will not happen.
Well, a couple ADs told me that the ACC could take care of that if they just said, we're not doing this anymore. We don't reap the benefits of you playing in our, if you're going to be part of this, you have to give an ultimatum. They would back out. And then when they have to try to schedule all of their teams independently, that would change their tune. And they're probably right, but I don't think the ACC is ever going to do that.
Well, they probably wouldn't, and they probably wouldn't get enough yes votes to do it. But it's almost like a similar situation to the Sorsby thing at Texas Tech, right? The outrage that happened and all that sort of stuff. And then the league just, all those other teams there, we're not going to play that with those guys. They got their own set of rules and they're crooks, and, you can't be having that, a guy gambling. And so, it's similar a little bit to that. If enough of them said, hey, we're not going to do this, we're not going to play them, schedule them, maybe that would happen. But, football is their bell cow. Their basketball has slipped off the map
Yeah.
since Tigger Phelps retired, right? And so, football's their thing, and they got their own little deal.
They do.
And he's done a good job coaching them. And last year they were pretty daggone good, and they'll be good this year again.
And they know now they'll have their spot guaranteed if they know exactly where they have to finish, right? Unlike other programs, they know exactly what they have to do going into the season.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of crazy.
So it looks like the other thing I want to ask you about this 5-year plan, which seems to make a lot of sense, right? It's common sense that the NCAA brought forth, and now it's being sued. And I think now there's 24 individual players, and now the leagues are getting involved. And ultimately, people are saying this is now probably not going to pass. So some judge is going to rule against it. So we're back to square one. The NCAA can't even pass something that looks like it makes a lot of sense for the wealth and for the good of all, everybody involved in football. But here we are, more lawsuits.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I think it's a good rule. I think it should pass, and I think most people are in agreement with it. But it's just the hungry people out there, the ones that it's not good enough for them, and lawyers would be the one to make all the money. It was like it's just crazy how that thing works. But I think it's a good rule. It should stick, and they should pass it. I mean, this thing is out of control. It's off the cart. It's off the tracks, and they need to have some guardrails up and fix it, and that would be a big step in the right direction to be able to do that. And it's just unfortunate, but who knows? We'll see down the road. Lawyers always have a way of squeezing money out of people, right? and having their own interpretation of the law.
We talked about the reputation for Notre Dame helping them, right, get all these concessions. Maybe that's what it is, the reputation of the NCAA. As soon as they get their name attached to something, they get shot down and see ya. So, and they get told no. And it just seems like since they're the ones putting that forth, that they're immediately going to get sued. So,
yeah, what a system, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? It's a great system. Yay!
Oh my gosh!
Yay!
And the lawyers are the one to get rich.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks to Louise Baker, Team Long and Foster. Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting topics, and it's all this is happening. It's unbelievable.
I was listening yesterday, like they were talking a little bit about the Michigan situation up there in their AD and all the stuff that's going on wrong with Sharon Moore and the football and Dusty May, and the basketball could have some issues there. And the money that the Board of Regents spent on attorneys there, well over $1 million. And they were billing them at like some outrageous fee, $1,200, $1,400 per hour. They racked up thousands and thousands of hours. And I mean, it's like, oh my goodness, these attorneys are just loving life, right? And somebody made the comment, we're in the wrong business. Well, yeah, those attorneys, they can make some money. It's like driving back from Florida. You see all these billboards. In an accident, call this number and call this number. In every state, it's like different. But the billboards are all over the place.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Like, so-and-so got awarded $500,000, Oh, my gosh.
You talk about an athletic director who had no power or no willingness to try to stop anything going on down there, right? That was Ward Manuel. I mean, that you're looking at all the things that they got caught up in. Yeah, they won 2 national titles in the biggest sports, but boy, at what cost, right? That's the epitome. Michigan athletics is the epitome of selling your soul right there. That's it.
Yeah. When you got a Harbaugh up there like that disaster,
yeah, right.
That was part of it. Yeah, and who knows what's going to happen from here on. But the Sharon Moore thing that went on longer than it should have when people knew about all that stuff that was happening. I mean, come on, let's get this thing figured out. And then obviously, who knows what the situation was with Dusty May. I mean, maybe he just thought that, hey, it is a pain in the butt like all those other great coaches have left the game because you're sitting there, you win a national championship, and the day after, you're like trying to figure out my roster for next year. You can't even enjoy it. You're thinking, okay, well, these 3 guys are going pro, and these guys are going to hit the portal, and I got to start from scratch. And, you can go to the NBA, and you're not going to worry too much about the draft. They're going to get your players, and that's what you got, and that's what you work with. So I could see a lot more of that happening down the road as some of these good college coaches are going to say, enough is enough, fix the rules, or we're out of here. If you get an opportunity to go coach at the next level, do it. If it doesn't work out and you get fired, you're going to be rich. So why not take advantage of it?
Well, there was all that speculation that he was leaving because there was going to be revealed how much portal tampering they did or whatever last year for the basketball roster. That's why he got out. But I haven't heard a word since then, since he left, as a matter of fact, about that following up. Who knows if that was true or not?
I imagine that. And Coach Franklin talked about last night about Kamari Copeland. He said, guys were trying to hit Kamari Copeland up when he was still during the season from the portal. They were trying to get him, hey, get into the portal. We'll take you, and just tampering with him and all that sort of stuff. That was going on. It goes on everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it certainly happened here too. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, they know. Everybody knows what's going on. All these high school commitments every day getting bombarded with, other schools coming after them. Those kids that still have to play their senior year. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we had a couple people at Radford yesterday, Power 4 reps at Radford yesterday, saying none of us know what to do, but we know that it's not going to change, and it's not sustainable. They all say the same thing. We might have all this money, but we look at it. We have books too. We know we can't succeed long term like this, but nobody's doing anything. It just blows my mind. Every day we go through it and nobody's doing anything.
And some of these agents are just ripping these kids off, these players, the fees that they're charging them. And, they got their own little posse, and they got one of them's in with a mother if they're separated or divorced. One of them's in with a father, and they're getting all this advice. And it's just sad to see that that's happening. And the players are the ones that are getting taken advantage of. And, it's just it's such an imperfect system. And it's trickling down to the high schools now. Some of these kids that are highly recruited in high school have agents, handlers, get them to this camp and that camp, and they're paying for it. And you never know what's going to happen. They're going to want to reap the rewards if the kid ends up in college, right? They're going to want a piece of the pie. So they're trying to get in their backyard right now. Hey, let me get you to this camp. I'll get you an offer from here.
Right.
And then when you succeed and get in there, don't forget me. Hey, I got you there. So give me a chunk of your pie.
No, you're 100% right. Because just talking to Big South coaches, just at our level, Mike, they say that's what you're dealing with now. You're not even talking to parents much anymore, not nearly as much. You still do, but it's about those representatives. Those are the first people that you talk to after you make contact with the kid. They immediately, it's not even the parents. The parents come later, right?
Yeah. Send me to the handler.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get the basis of what this deal might look at in order before I come by and, maybe visit your campus. Maybe I won't visit your campus.
Yeah.
Right?
And that was, Coach Franklin talked about that a little bit last night, that they're not going to be a portal school, that they're going to develop players and try to keep them there, recruit the best players, try to develop them. And then when you need to fill in with the portal, they will do that. And the crowd gave him a big ovation for that, because I think they appreciate that and like that. So it'll be fun to see. He's got that great recruiting class coming in. And, he talked about last night too about the facilities. Virginia Tech needs to look, feel, smell big time, and it wasn't. And they're doing all those renovations over there now, and it's going to look that way and feel that way. And he said, a kid goes to Notre Dame and they go to Clemson, they see the facilities, and then they come here on their next visit, and they're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, what a difference, It's going back in time almost. And he said that, we had to fix things up and do that. And I told him, I said, that's all the more reason, Coach, that you deserve a whole lot of credit for being able to bring those kids in that you had recruited at Penn State, the kids that Brent Pry had that they wanted, you kept those. And the kids that you got to come here from the portal, in spite of the fact that some of these facilities need some serious upgrading. And, I think the crowd appreciated the fact that what he's been able to do in such a short time.
Well, we'll see if that philosophy holds true, right, about the high school recruiting. It didn't at Clemson, so we'll see if that works for him here in Blacksburg.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what happens with that, with Dabo this year and Florida State. I mean, the two teams that were kind of carrying the torch there for the longest time. What's going to happen with those two, especially Clemson? Florida State's been on the ropes for a while, but Dabo, it's kind of getting rusty down there, and they won't put up with that very long.
I know.
So we'll see what happens with that. And it looks like Miami's in firm control. I think Miami, SMU, Louisville, those are the teams right now that are probably going to be picked to top three anyway. So, yeah, Miami's got an incredible amount of talent. and they went to the portal and got a lot more of it.
You think Pitt? I keep hearing people bring up Pitt. What are you hearing about Pitt? Are they why do people like Pitt so much? Is it because of their lines? I don't know. I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, they're always hard nosed and tough playing team. Narduzzi's kind of that kind of guy, but you know that situation with their quarterbacks last year got a little bit out of hand, but they do have a pretty good quarterback, and I think it all starts with that. And you know, if they can come off and do well, then maybe they will be. And you know, the other one is Georgia Tech. You know, they lost all those people, the coordinators, and all that sort of stuff, and that's going to be kind of fun to see what Brent Key does down there with some new talent, new coordinators, and all that sort of stuff. So there are going to be some interesting storylines this week to come out of there.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, we don't hear anything about Virginia at all, but I hear both of their lines are really good. The quarterback they brought in from Missouri looks like the real deal. They stay very quiet, coming off a best season ever for them with 11 wins, and we'll have to wait and see what happens there too, right, with those guys.
Yeah, I don't know what their money situation is. You know, last year they had so much of an influx of money. They bought so many players. I mean, I told you this before. They had senior day up there, and we're in Charlottesville, and you know, it's like 25 minutes before kickoff, and they had to start their senior program because there were 52 kids that were walking, seniors, grad students. 52. I mean, that went from sideline to sideline, not from like the 20-yard line to the goal line. It went from sideline to sideline. They just kept introducing one after another, after another, after another. And so, you know, how much money do they have this year? Can they sustain it? I don't know. That will be fun and interesting to watch. It was kind of funny. They said some of the fans were talking about, hey, we want to get a sellout for once. And like Virginia Tech, I'll promise you, I'll bet you that VMI game will be sold out one way or another.
Oh, yeah. On a Saturday night. Yeah, even though it'll be over at the end of the first quarter. Sure, it'll sell out. Absolutely. It will.
The James Franklin era, yes.
It's wild. Yep. As always, thanks to Louise Baker Team Long and Falls. Wherever she is, Mike, we know that she's wearing probably Hokie colors today. You know that.
That's right. Absolutely. And I'm thinking I might see her later today, going to that funeral for Peg Driscoll, and hopefully I'll see her there for that. Right. Peg was, I think, 92 years old. What a great teacher she was. I'll always remember her, and she was one of the best I ever had. She was awesome.
Yeah, I know. You were talking about her last week, man. So I'm sorry you have to deal with that, but you get to go pay your final respects today. So
yeah, she deserves it, and hope Louise will be there, and I get to see her and give her a big hug.
There you go. All right, man. Well, good luck getting through that. Okay, and have a great week. You going down to the kickoff? Or are you going down there? And Saturday, by the way. Okay, what are you doing this weekend?
We're not going to the kickoff because, you know, we talk about it and stuff, but, you know, here it is the middle of July, and you don't play an ACC game until the end of September. And it's like whatever happens between now and then is probably mostly irrelevant because guys can get hurt. You don't know. They're going to have some of these teams you thought were going to be good are going to have 2 or 3 losses. And it just, you know, and I don't think the higher ups probably wanted to pay for it for a couple of days. So yeah, we're going to pass. Just watch it. Everything's online anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not the same at all. Not the same as it used to be. It's just.
I know. We go down there for 2 or 3 days. They had golf, the Grand Over, and all that. Man, it was big time.
Hang out with all the coaches. They were just so casual, just hanging out with them. Yeah, they were great, man. They were great.
Play golf with them, have cocktails with them. It was awesome.
Well, if you find yourself looking for something to do Saturday, we're doing the BDST Bash over at the Super Bowl. I know Coach Elmo's going to be there. So if you want
to. Oh, yeah. What time is that? He mentioned that last night.
6 o'clock. So we're looking 6 to maybe 9. We're just going to hang out over there. They're going to have a great setup for us. So food and beverages. So come on by, man, if you get a chance.
May have to do that. Super Bowl, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, Super Bowl on Saturday, baby.
Always good to see you and Elmo. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun, man. Yeah, come on by. By.
All right, Rick. Sounds good.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself, man. Hope to see you Saturday.
All right, you take care. Have a good week.
All right, man. You too.
Okay.
Mike Burnham, the Hall of Famer, joining us on the program. Yeah, it looks like Mike's going to come. There you go. How about that, Morris? I know a lot of people want to meet Mike. They hear him every day or every week here on the program. And, yeah, you will be very glad if you get a chance to meet Mike. Mike at the Bash. Looks like it. we got it confirmed. He thinks he's going to be there. So, yeah. So we're going to roll with it. We are going to roll with it. Yeah, it is Prometheus. Yeah, NIL is legal now. Yep, absolutely, in high school. Yep, 100%. And if you don't think that it's been happening in this state for a while, well, you're wrong. You want to have a great conversation about pay for play in high school? Talk to former Radford High School coach Rick Cormany. He'll tell you all about the things he witnessed and went through, especially at the end. Just corrupt as hell, isn't it? It just makes it all feel so dirty. But in any event, be sure to call Professional Door Incorporated during the month of July. They're offering $40 off of your visit for preventative maintenance for your garage door. I know most of the population has garage doors. 674-0008. You have to tell them you heard us talking about it here on the program, and you immediately have $40 taken off your bill. But you better get them checked out. They do the best job. You won't ever turn to anybody else but Travis Williams and Professional Door. Get them checked out. A lot of fun today, man. It's always fun here. Marva went the extra mile today and put us all in a great mindset talking about food. That was great. Brian Sieglin, Mike Burnup. Yeah, I will reach out to Louise as well. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Morris, remind me that I've done that by Thursday. I won't bother today since I know she's got the funeral for the teacher. So, yeah, remind me to do that, though. Remind me to do that. We may blow past the 22.5. Well, that's great for the Super Bowl because people will go out and buy games to bowl, right? Yeah, it was hard. I don't know how to get a head count on things like that. People ask, I'm like, well, we had a lot of people mention it. Then I've had people say they probably can't make it. And so I don't know. 22.5 seems solid. Feel like we're Vegas now, giving odds. 22.5. We got 22.5 for the bash. Yeah, we're going 22.5. But it looks like we're going to have a sunny day. I was kind of hoping for another day of rain, to be honest, but we did get a nice little saturation. Hopefully it'll take. Thanks to everybody in chat. Thanks to all of our guests. Thanks to all of our amazing sponsors. And we will see you tomorrow on the Hump Day Wednesday edition, everybody.